Welcome to this Forge College Explainer. So, if you remember our last lesson, we were totally deep in the weeds, right? Debugging contention, untangling those crazy advanced execution paths. Yeah, good times. But today we are transitioning from that gritty troubleshooting into something incredibly satisfying. We are assembling the complete hardhat workflow. This is our capstone project for the hardhat fundamentals module within the Ethereum DevStacks and Frameworks track. It is time to build the ultimate well-oiled machine.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our master blueprint for today. We're going to start with a welcome to the final assembly, run a local engine check, wire up the control panel, fire up the automated assembly line, finalize our blueprints and packaging, and finally, make sure we're totally ready for Foundry. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Welcome to final assembly.
So before we even think about picking up a wrench, we need to know what a finished, working machine actually looks like. To clear final inspection, your local compile and test absolutely must pass. Your CI pipeline has to trigger and complete all on its own. You need your artifacts beautifully managed and every single script explicitly documented. We aren't just cobbling things together here, we're building a workflow so bulletproof you could literally run it in your sleep.
All right, moving to Section 2, the local engine check.
Let's see how this thing actually builds. We're going to test our freshly assembled engine right on the bench locally. It takes 3 really precise steps. Step 1, npm CI. Step 2, npm run compile. And step 3, npm test. Before we turn on the heavy automated machinery, we really want to avoid that dreaded sea of red error text that just ruins a developer's afternoon, you know? We do this by ensuring our local compile and unit tests finish up without a single hiccup.
Which brings us to Section 3, wiring the control panel. Okay, so our engine is purring smoothly. Now we need to install the control panel by wiring up our package.json scripts. And what's really beautiful about this is how developer intent maps directly to explicit reproducible hardhat commands, like npm run compile points right to hardhat compile, npm run test routes specifically to your hardhat network, while npm run lint maps to ESLint. It basically gives us this clear, highly functional control surface with absolutely zero hidden wires. And right behind that control panel is our main configuration chassis, the hardhat.config.js file. Notice how we are mapping explicit paths here. Sources map strictly to contracts, tests go right to test, cache to cache, and artifacts to artifacts. We are leaving literally nothing to chance. This rigid frame ensures our CI knows exactly where to locate compiled outputs. No phantom missing variable headaches allowed in this factory, right?
Let's jump to Section 4, the automated assembly line. With the control panel fully wired up, we can step confidently onto the automated factory floor to oversee our CI workflow in GitHub Actions. We start by checking out the code and setting up Node, then we restore the cache. Next, we install dependencies and lint, compile and test, and finally upload those precious artifacts. It's an exact, unbroken sequence, step by step.
Now you probably noticed Step 2 mentioned the cache. Artifact caching is basically just storing node modules and build folders to drastically speed up your subsequent workflow runs. Think of it like this. We use caching so our factory doesn't have to painstakingly rebuild the exact same generic parts it already made yesterday. It brilliantly saves time, valuable compute resources, and honestly, our patience.
Section 5, blueprints and packaging.
So our machine is fully built, right? It's humming along on the conveyor belt. But we still need to pack it into a proper shipping crate with an instruction manual. Look, I know writing documentation is pretty much everyone's favorite pastime, but your docs must include a clear README with a step-by-step runbook, a .env.example file so people actually know what variables to provide, and a brief section on Foundry integration. To pass an external review, your repository simply must have clear executable documentation, no exceptions.
And a major part of that packaging involves the integration artifact. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's the compiled ABIs and bytecode that external testing tools like Foundry will directly consume. If we don't precisely package these artifacts, the next factory down the road literally cannot do its job. It's the ultimate handoff, and we have to get it right.
Finally, Section 6, ready for Foundry. The finished machine rolls off the line, it meets all of our acceptance criteria, and is completely prepared for the Foundry testing suite. So let's lock in the 3 core principles that got us here. Principle 1, reproducible surface. By providing a small, consistent set of scripts, you guarantee predictable outputs. Whether it's a human reviewer or an automated system, they press the exact same button and get the exact same result every single time.
Principle 2 is artifact visibility. By forcing explicit paths in our config and utilizing CI uploads, we completely eliminate all the guesswork. When external tools come knocking for your freshly minted contract outputs, they don't have to rummage through a messy workshop to find them. The parts are sitting right there on the shelf, perfectly visible and totally ready to go. And Principle 3, automation as documentation. Your perfectly wired scripts and GitHub Actions workflows aren't just utilities. They actually act as a living, executable manual. They prove exactly how the system is meant to be run, requiring absolutely zero external handholding from you. Looking back at our schematic, it's incredibly satisfying to see this whole assembly journey come together. I mean, from the basic layout setup in Lesson 1, connecting the CI pipelines in Lesson 2, tweaking the advanced config in Lesson 3, all the way to today's capstone assembly. Everything synthesizes flawlessly, directly setting us up for that Foundry integration next.
So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are your integration artifacts perfectly packaged and ready for the next level of testing? Leave absolutely no bolt untightened on that factory floor. If you want to master this and continue your Web3 journey without losing your mind to messy workflows, you've got to visit forge.college. Check it out to learn more about taking these beautifully assembled projects into the next exciting phase of development. Until next time, keep building, keep testing, and keep it automated.